Alright guys, that's it. I'm just gonna call it right here. Years from now, you're all gonna come back to this video and know that I was right, but here it is. Tom Holland, yep, the new Spider-Man. He is going to be directing a movie of his own in just a few years. Why, you all might ask? Because there are so many actors who are becoming directors. It's insanity. Hey there guys, what's up, what's going on? It is Movie Review Mike 18 here, back with yet another movie review for you guys today. And this is a review for a film that probably not a lot of people have seen so far, but you should. So guys, this is going to be my movie review for Wildlife. This is Paul Dano's co-written and directorial debut. That's right, Paul Dano the actor. Like I said before, all of the actors are becoming directors now. It's only a matter of time before every single one of them is directing a movie. So guys, Wildlife follows a family living in 1960s Montana and the slow eruption into chaos that they are plunged into. Specifically, we focus on two parents, played by Carey Mulligan and Jake Gyllenhaal, and their 14-year-old son, played by Ed Oxenbould. They're living what is your typical, normal, middle-class life, you know, things are going pretty well for them. So everything changes when Jake Gyllenhaal's character loses his job, and he is forced into finding another line of work. His interests lead him to fighting a massive amount of wildfires that are sort of plaguing the outskirts of the town that they live in. As a result, everything is going to change. That has just set off the ball that is going to roll and change the lives of this family for good. I'm actually just going to say this here. I'm pretty sure anyone who's already seen the trailers who've wanted to go see this movie have already seen the trailers. But after watching this review, if you have not yet seen the trailers and you want to go see this movie, do not watch the trailers, okay? I feel the trailers give away so much more than they should. So guys, Wildlife is a very slow-moving yet incredibly fascinating look into the lives of three people. Three people who dramatically change over the course of the entire film. This is a very intriguing look into the life of a family, and a family who thought they really had it all. You know, they were riding so high and they had everything going so well for them, and then everything just gradually starts to get further and further wrong with each decision and each choice that each of the family members decides to make. But as the film progresses, they gradually come to realize that maybe they're meant for more, and the film really focuses on all three of their wants and their needs and their realizations into really who they are and what sort of direction they're taking their own lives. And it's just a fantastic sort of character study on these three people. And unfortunately, guys, most people are going to go into this movie and find it incredibly boring. This is not your typical movie that you're getting into. This film is a lot more slower paced and a lot more careful and meticulous about how it treats its characters and how it presents the drama at hand. If you're not a fan of that type of dramatic filmmaking, you're gonna hate this movie. I am a fan of that type of filmmaking. I love films that just take a slice of life for a group of people and just examines it throughout the entire film. So the performances for one in this movie are just impeccable. Let's start off with Jake Gyllenhaal. Many of you guys know this is one of my favorite actors working today. I am a huge fan of Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's also interesting that this is sort of a reteaming between him and Paul Dano, and the two of them work together on Prisoners as two actors. This time they're working together as director-actor. Jake Gyllenhaal knocks it out of the park in this one for sure. He's so great at playing a very haunted man who is trying not to really show his true feelings and his true sense of self. He's playing a guy who kind of lost his sense of pride and his sort of feeling of being a valued provider of his family when he gets fired from his job. And you can see it all in his face. He really doesn't even have to say anything. The way he expresses himself after that point in the film, you can just read it right on him, and that's really just those little subtleties that make him such a great actor. This is easily one of his best performances in the last couple of years. So Carey Mulligan plays the wife in this movie, and she is just as equally good a counterpart, if not better, to Jake Gyllenhaal's character. She's amazing. She blew me the hell away and really brought me into her mindset so incredibly well. She's really asking herself the big questions concerning her own course of her life, you know? Did she make all of the right decisions? Is she doing everything that she's doing for her family, for her as well? Has she taken her own thoughts and considerations into account? Is this really the life that she wants to sort of live once all of the drama starts to unfold in the movie? I just got such a tortured sense of feeling trapped from her throughout this entire movie. It feels as if there's like some other person deep within inside her that's just behind bars and just can't break out, and I get that sense of feeling so well. There's an incredible dinner sequence in this movie. I really don't want to spoil what's happening in that scene or who's in that scene specifically, but she's amazing in that scene. And yes, Carey Mulligan's character may be disliked by many. They may not understand why she's doing the things that she's doing, but I completely understood and bought into everything. Ed Oxenbould is also really fantastic here in this movie. I thought his character brought a lot of responsibility to him. You know, once Jake Gyllenhaal sort of suffers that low blow, he is left with so much responsibility of taking things around the house, or maybe taking matters into his own hands, and maybe being an active character and trying to find ways to make money. But at the same time, he brings a real reserved sort of sense of fear that he's trying to keep within him, and not trying to sort of let his mother, or even later on his father, see what he's really feeling. But as things start to unfold gradually throughout this movie and things change, the course of events change, we see that fear slowly breaking out of him over what's going on with his parents, what's going on with his family structure. And you could see the kid gradually start to break. I thought it was an amazing breakthrough performance for him. And I know we first were introduced to him in The Visit. That was an incredible performance as well. But there's so many more levels of complexity that he had to sort of portray for the character in this movie. The film is also beautifully shot, guys. The cinematography in this movie is some of the best I've seen brought to a film all year long. It's really quite stunning work. Paul Dano uses the frame to sort of reflect the state of the mind of the characters really, really well. I loved his choices to shoot the first portion of this movie very static. He gave it a very locked down feel, but a lot of the wide shots that he uses and a lot of his decisions to hold on certain shots as long as he does sort of makes us feel as if the characters are sort of trapped in the environment that they're in, even after they maybe leave the frame. There are some gorgeous dolly shots in this movie, very slow sort of camera moves that sort of demonstrate what characters are feeling. But then for the second half of the movie, once things start to escalate and the height of the drama is really starting to unfold, he makes the choice to go shoot handheld, and I really admired those little touches as well. I also really loved a lot of the production design and sort of the costumes, all of the little choices that went into creating the setting and creating a period piece of the 1960s, I thought was also very well done. I personally love the house that the family is living in, but I love how this is a house that a well-off middle-class family can afford, but gradually, as things start to decay and the family starts to lose money, the house is sort of a reflection of the fact that they really can't afford it. There's a massive financial strain, and they're wondering, how the hell are we going to get things done? How are we going to pay bills? How are we going to survive and live off of this situation that we're in now? And I thought that the production design and a lot of the costume design choices as well really reflected that, and I thought that was great. All of the other praise I have to direct your attention to is definitely going to go to Paul Dano's direction and a lot of his choices to keep this movie at that sort of slow, meandering pace. It really creates a very atmospheric sort of tone, and I really like movies that sort of take their time with developing their characters, showing their sort of peril that they're going through, but gradually escalating it over time and building up their decisions. The other bit of praise that has to go mentioned is towards the screenplay, which was not only co-written by Paul Dano, but was also co-written by his girlfriend, Zoe Kazan. I love how small and contained the screenplay for this movie is, and I love how it really never loses focus. It knows that it has to root all of the problems that are going on within the three characters that the film is focusing on. And that's it. It doesn't try to do anything more than that, and that is what makes it feel so small and contained, and it works very well as a procedural film about change. This is a movie about characters going on a journey of self-discovery, about a family going on a journey of self-discovery, and each member of that family sort of questioning where their place is within the family and if they're sort of meant for more. And I love how a lot of the film is rooted through the perspective of a 14-year-old boy who is sort of looking at his parents as these two incredible beings who provide so much and give him so much in life. But at the same time, as he's watching everything unravel, he sort of gradually comes to learn that his parents have flaws. They have wants and needs, and their baggage really is going to impact his life. I do have but two small issues I found with the film, guys. One of them concerns this sort of act shift that we get right after we focus on Gyllenhaal's character and what he's going to attempt to go do by fighting these wildfires. We immediately sort of lose sense of that character to sort of focus on Carey Mulligan's character, and I thought the transition was good, but I thought it just took a little bit of time to sort of establish that this is who we're focusing on now. It took a while for my excitement to sort of be rooted into Carey Mulligan's character and what she was sort of dealing with. My final complaint, and this is a little nitpicky, and I know I said I loved how contained this story was, but of course there is another side character that the film chooses to focus on for the sake of creating the drama for this family, and it's a character played by Bill Camp. He plays an automobile dealer, and I love what they did with that character without spoiling anything, but by the end of the film where everything gets revealed concerning his character, I wanted another beat with him. All in all, though, guys, this is not your typical drama. This is a very slow-paced, meandering, very methodical sort of look into the crumbling of a family life in the 1960s. And that's really all there is to it. This is an incredibly simple film, and it's masterfully handled by Paul Dano in what I think is an incredible directorial debut. It's brought to life by amazing, stunning performances from these characters and really sharp and solid writing from the script. I think I might love this movie even more than I did on a rewatch, even though I don't know if I will rewatch this movie. It's one of those movies, it takes a lot out of you. It is kind of devastating in parts. But the way everything concludes and what I think is one of the best ending shots of the year, Wildlife simply took me on a journey that I wasn't expecting to go on, and I had a blast with it. In the end, I am going to give Wildlife a solid grade of a 4.25 out of 5 stars, or a grade of an A-. Definitely gonna recommend you guys check this one out. If this is your type of movie, like I said, I'm definitely gonna recommend you guys see it if it comes to a theater near you. As for now, though, guys, that's really all I have. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching. Stay tuned. I have more movie reviews coming very, very shortly, and hopefully some other fun videos coming soon as well. Thank you, as always, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.